For millions of people, the first step into the world of finance, it doesn't happen in a classroom or a bank. Nope. It happens on a screen when they hit play. We're going to dive into this huge shift in how we learn about money because it's all happening on YouTube. Okay, let's be real for a second. Have you ever felt like investing is this exclusive club and you're just not on the list? You know that feeling, right? You're on the outside, looking in at this world full of jargon that just feels designed to keep you out. Well, if you've ever felt that way, you are definitely not alone. But what if the key to getting into that club is actually way simpler than you'd think? Just look at this number. Over 12 million. 12,148,000 and change. That's how many views a single animated video from TED Ed got for just explaining how the stock market works. 12 million people, all going to the exact same place to get answers. We all have this picture in our heads of Wall Street, right? It's this crazy maze. Flashing numbers, people yelling on a trading floor. It just seems completely impenetrable. But what if the map to get through that maze isn't what we've been told it is? And this is where it all changes. For a whole new generation, the guide through that maze, it isn't some broker in a suit. No way. It's a YouTuber. The person they actually trust to break it all down for them is a creator, someone talking to them, directly through their screen. So, who are these digital mentors? Who are these guides? Well, let's actually take a look at the classrooms where millions and millions of people are getting their first dose of financial education. Seriously? Just look at these numbers. The scale is absolutely staggering. This isn't some little corner of the internet we're talking about. You've got channels like TED Ed, Trading Lab, Mark Tilbury, and they're pulling in millions of views. We're talking mainstream here. It's a total shift in who we learn about money from. And what's really cool is when you look at what people are watching, you can see a clear path forming. It all starts with the basics, right? How does this whole thing even work? That's why that TED Ed video has over 12 million views. Then people move on to the next step. Okay, how do I actually get started? And from there, it's the big dream. How do I make this work for me? It's like a whole curriculum, just there for the taking, whenever you want it. All right, so understanding the theory is one thing, but what's the first actual step these videos tell you to take? Well, that's the beauty of it. They don't just leave you hanging. They give you a really clear, actionable roadmap for how to open that very first door. And it always starts with cutting through the jargon. Take a word like broker. It sounds so official, right? A little intimidating maybe. But these videos, they just break it down. A broker, it's just the company that gives you access to the stock market. That's all it is. Think of it like your ticket to get into the game. So once you realize a broker isn't some scary thing, the next part gets, surprisingly simple. If you look at pretty much all of these top videos, the advice always boils down to the same 3 steps. 1, choose a broker. 2, open an account. And 3, put some money in it. Suddenly, that big, scary maze starts looking a lot more like a straight path. Okay, so you've done it. The account is open, the door is unlocked, and now comes the big question. Maybe the biggest question of all for a beginner. With all the choices out there, what do you actually buy? And pretty much all the beginner guides boil this down to one fundamental choice. On one hand, you could buy individual stocks, pick a single company you believe in. That's higher risk, but also potentially higher reward. Or on the other hand, you could buy something called an ETF or an index fund. Think of it like buying a whole basket of stocks all at once. And for beginners, the message from these creators is almost unanimous. Start with the basket. It really all just comes down to that old saying we've all heard, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, in this case, the ETF, or the index fund, is the basket. It's the #1 principle they teach to help you protect your money right from the get-go. With just one purchase, you instantly own a tiny slice of maybe hundreds of different companies. But, picking what to buy, that's really only half of it. These YouTube mentors spend just as much time, maybe even more time, talking about something they say is way more important, your mindset. This isn't about clever tactics, it's about a philosophy. It's all about playing the long game. And this is a really, really important distinction they all make. Are you going to be an investor or are you going to be a trader? See, trading is all about the short term. It's trying to profit from the market's daily ups and downs, its zigs and zags. But investing, the way these guides teach it, is about the long haul. It's about building wealth slowly and steadily over years or even decades. And for beginners, the advice is crystal clear. Be an investor, not a trader. So what does that mindset look like? Well, it boils down to these core beliefs, and you'll hear them over and over again in these videos. The goal is time in the market, not trying to time the market. It's about being consistent, not hoping for one big lucky win. It's about seeing downturns as opportunities, not a reason to panic. And above all, it's about just letting compound interest do all the heavy lifting for you. That's it. That's the foundation of everything they teach. So when you put it all together, what's the big picture? It's that these YouTube creators are doing way more than just uploading videos. They are fundamentally changing who gets to learn about finance. They've found that exclusive club, and they've basically just thrown the doors wide open, turning it into a journey that anyone, literally anyone, can start right from their phone or their laptop. So the map exists, the knowledge is out there, and it's more accessible than ever before in history. The first step, as these creators have shown us, is just getting that knowledge. So the only question left is, what will your next step be?